Whoa. Okay. Wow. These spoilers are pretty crazy. Let's just talk about it. Emu calls Rox Davy Jones, but Rox replies, he's not that guy. But I do agree what is promised must be fulfilled. All right, already starting off with a big revelation that we don't know what it means. So in the previous chapter, we saw Rox, Whitebeard, and Kaido teamed up to essentially take on Emu in the final battle of God Valley. Emu had possessed Saturn, and they're staring them down. And this is what Emu says to Rox. I don't know if Emu's like glitching out or Emu's kind of insulting Rox or something, but we know that a couple chapters back when Rox invaded Mary Joie, he eventually got to the Room of Flowers after killing an admiral. And when he confronted Emu, he said that he was a fan of Davy Jones. So this is probably a callback to that. Of course, Emu knows Davy Jones because it's implied that he's from the Void Century. He was kind of like the counterpart to Joy Boy, the way that Blackbeard is the counterpart to Luffy. And, you know, Rox to Roger. And I like that Rox is saying, I'm not that guy. I'm a fan of him, but I'm like my own thing. I'm not Yamato trying to be Odin. You know, I'm actually a good character. And I don't know if that means that, like, Rox resembles Davy Jones. Maybe he does. Oda kind of drew him already in a way. I don't know if he's going to keep that design. Now, as for what is promised must be fulfilled, I don't know what that means. Maybe Luna Pian Art knows what that means. I'm assuming this for sure has something to do with the Void Century. I don't know if this is a promise that Emu made or this was like a promise that the D's made. You know, Davy D. Jones, Joy D. Boy, or whatever his real name is. Maybe Bink something, I don't know. But it for sure has something to do with that. Maybe it's bringing of the dawn or just overthrowing what Emu has done. We'll talk about it later. Big Mom joins the trio in the final battle. They attack together. Scene change. Scene change. No, let's savor this, Oda. Come on. This is one of the most incredible battles ever. No scene change. But Big Mom joins the final battle. This means that Big Mom knew about Emu this whole time. Or kind of. I don't know. Who knows what. We're going to be talking about that more. But pretty cool that Big Mom was there. But it's so funny that like this whole time Big Mom fought in this final ultimate battle at God Valley and she never talks about it. Why talk about it? The Roger Pirates still clash with the Rox Pirates who start fighting each other. John versus Ganzui. So they're both a part of the Rox Pirates, so maybe they're fighting over treasure or something. Ganzui is like that big armored guy with the long beard. I actually think he dies at God Valley. John, I think, goes on to live, so maybe that's a spoiler as to what's happening. Garp and Roger joins against Emu. Zebek and his top three all attack together. There's an epic double page with Rox, Roger, Garp, Whitebeard, Kaido, and Big Mom attacking Emu all together. But even with that massive attack, Emu recovers. Whoa, there's so much going on here. And it's cool. And it's also like, wait, why? All right, let's back up for a little bit. Garp and Roger joins against Emu, Zebek, and his top three, and they all attack together. I am happy that Garp is fighting against Emu here. Now, I know a lot of you right now are like, Zhoniin, you were wrong. You idiot. Garp, he's the greatest. He's redeemed now. Partly, yes, as he should. But it makes me wonder, does he even know what's really going on here? Because there must be another element to this. I mean, it just keeps going back to why is he still a Marine? Why is he still a Marine? If he knows what happened at God Valley, and maybe or maybe not knows what's going on with Emu here. Because also, why is Emu allowing Garp to stay in the Marines after this? Even Saturn should be somewhat aware of what's going on. We don't know how like Emu taking you over works. There's just a lot of missing pieces here. So you can for sure say I'm an idiot because that's always been the truth. But I just don't know what to make of this sequence. I'm kind of done harping on Garp anyway. I already spent 2 weeks ago doing that. It's over now. Garp is Garp. He will, for sure, in the end, have like a redeeming moment. We already talked about that. We know it's inevitable. We know that he's going to try to overthrow the world government in his own way. He probably already is with Sword. But aside from that, everyone is attacking Emu here. All of the strongest people of this era are all teaming up. You're probably going to hear landscapers in the background, guys. I'm sorry. Nothing I can do about it. But we've got Rox, Roger, Garp, Whitebeard, Kaido, and Big Mom all attacking Emu together. At least 3 of them must have, like, ultra advanced Conqueror's Haki that can overcome the regeneration stuff, right? At least Rox does, because we saw in the previous chapter that when he was defeating Garling, he was making his regeneration slow down. So maybe you need triple advanced Conqueror's Haki to overcome Emu or something. Not really sure, but wow. I guess the mural that we saw of Emu fighting everybody in the Void Century is pretty accurate. It's gonna take literally everyone to defeat Emu. I mean, not in the end, it's going to be Luffy who defeats Emu with like a giant punch. I mean, that's how it's going to end. Spoiler, sorry. But it's just showing that, wow, Emu is pretty incredibly powerful because these are all the strongest guys available. I mean, this is literally it. There's no one else in the world at this point in time, at least on the good guy's side. Chapter ends with Emu using Domi Reversi on Rox and ordering to kill his family. No break next week. So yeah, unfortunately it has happened. And I'm not really that shocked by it because we've been talking about it for the last 2 weeks. I actually first talked about this in my second spoilers video for 1162 2 weeks ago. That was like the video where I weighed in on Garp. I more so came to that conclusion after rereading chapter 957 when Sengoku retells the story of God Valley from his perspective. And then Sai and I made a video last week talking about how Rox was going to die, and we kind of both agreed that he's very likely going to get Domi Reversi'd, and he does. And it kind of sucks because it's like you're taking Rox's thunder by doing this. I would have liked if he just went out on his shield, you know? And also, it's just Domi Reversi is broken. Let's just call it for what it is. It's a broken ability. It's like, how does it work? Because it's just like you can Domi Reversi anyone, right? There's no rhyme or reason to how it works. It's just like, oh, Domi Reversi, you're a demon now. And it's like, why doesn't Emu just do that to all of their adversaries? They could easily just squash any person that's in their way, even remote. Like, they could just Domi Reversi everyone here on the island and it's over. So why don't they just do that? You know, like, how does it work? There's got to be some kind of way that Oda justifies this ability, because right now it's just too broken. And it just sucks the air out of the tension and the stakes of everything. Because it's like, what's the point? You're just going to get Domi reversed. And then also, I guess this does mean that Garp and Roger kill Rox while he's Domi Reversi. And if that does happen, oh man, that's going to suck. Either way, Rox is dying via Domi Reversi. And it seems like it's supposed to parallel how Harold is implied to be getting killed by Domi Reversi, right? Because when we first started this flashback, we saw Harold getting killed by like his own guard guys, and it looked like he was Domi Reversi. So yeah, it is what it is. Man, hopefully Oda can land this ship, because it would really suck if like God Valley is built up to be so cool and great and everything, and then the ending is just so flat. And I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but I will point out that I did just finish Squid Game. I know it took a little bit of time. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'll just say, whoa, what a terrible ending to such a great, well-written show. And it kind of just falls apart in the last 20 minutes. Like, wow, what a waste of time that show was. But anyway, we're probably going to make like 3 more videos about this chapter as the week goes on. We'll talk about it more. You know, we got plenty of time, guys. So let's first digest these initial spoilers. You know, call me an idiot and all that other stuff. And let me know what you think about this chapter in the comments, guys. But if you liked the video for some reason, give it a like, and also subscribe too. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you in the next follow-up videos we're going to do.